My name is Emily Carter. I'm 31 years old. I live in Seattle, Washington. And this morning, I woke up to 31 missed calls from a number in Ohio. I didn't answer. I didn't move. I just sat there, staring at my phone, while the coffee in my hand slowly went cold. Because before I even listened to a single voicemail, I already knew who it was. Some memories don't disappear. They don't fade with time. They don't soften. They wait, quietly, patiently, like something buried alive, watching, waiting, until the exact moment you let your guard down. And then one ordinary morning, they come back and drag you all the way down with them. For me, it wasn't a sound. It wasn't a place. It was a number, flashing, again, and again. And just like that, I wasn't 31 anymore. I was 12, standing alone, in a crowded bus terminal, realizing something that would change my life forever. My parents didn't forget me. They didn't lose me. They left me there, on purpose, as a joke. They even made a bet on whether I could find my way home. I remember the exact second it hit me, that drop in your stomach, when confusion turns into understanding, and understanding turns into fear. Every face around me, a stranger. Every voice, too loud. Every second, stretching longer than it should. That was the moment my life split in two, before and after. And this morning, those 31 missed calls proved something I spent nearly 20 years trying to bury. The past doesn't stay where you leave it. Sometimes, comes looking for you. I grew up in a town called Maple Ridge, Ohio. If you asked anyone there about my family, they would have told you we were solid, respectable, reliable, the kind of family people trusted. My parents owned a small chain of home goods stores. Not huge, but steady, predictable. On weekends, my dad grilled in the backyard. Neighbors waved. My mom always smiled, always said the right things. Everything looked right. But inside the house, everything had rules. Love wasn't automatic. It was earned. And safety, that depended on my mother's mood. She called them lessons. That word sounded harmless, almost responsible, like she was preparing me for something important. But her lessons weren't about life. They were about control. If I cried, I was too sensitive. If I hesitated, I lacked discipline. If I asked for help, I was weak. And my father didn't stop her. He encouraged it, like they were running an experiment, testing how far they could push me. Before I broke, when I was 8, I asked for a new pair of shoes. Mine had holes in the soles. My mother smiled, took my hand, walked me outside, and told me to sit on a bench. In the real world, she said, no one gives you things just because you ask. They left me there for almost 3 hours. I remember watching people walk past me, laughing, shopping, living normal lives, and thinking something about my life wasn't normal. When they came back, my father laughed, asked my mother if she owed him money, because he guessed I wouldn't move. When I was 10, I cried after a school event. Some kids had made fun of me. My parents didn't comfort me. They drove to the far end of the parking lot, told me to get out, and left. After sunset, I sat there, watching the sky turn dark, telling myself they would come back. They always did. Eventually, that was the pattern. Just enough fear to hurt, just enough return to confuse. Over time, I stopped reacting, because reacting made it worse. I learned how to read their moods, predict their tone, anticipate their next move. I became quiet, careful, invisible, the kind of child who doesn't cause problems, because she's too busy trying not to be one. The only place I existed freely was on paper. I drew constantly, not because I was talented, but because it was the only place no one could control me. I drew rooms with locked doors, windows open to empty skies, girls walking away. At 12, I didn't understand why. Now I do. I wasn't drawing pictures. I was drawing exits. The thing that pushed everything over the edge was small. A B in art class. The one subject that mattered to me. I was proud of it. Until I got home. My mother held the report card like evidence. Embarrassing. My father nodded. Lazy. That night, I heard them laughing in the kitchen, planning something. I didn't know what, but I knew it was about me. The next morning, they were different. Too nice. Pancakes, juice, smiles that didn't feel real. We're going into the city, my mom said. Just us. And for a second, I believed it. I thought maybe this was their version of fixing things. I was wrong. We drove into Columbus around noon. The bus terminal was massive, crowded, loud, people moving in every direction, suitcases rolling, announcements echoing. The air felt heavy. I stayed close to them, because I didn't know where else to stand. Inside, my mother pointed to a row of metal seats. Wait here. We're parking the car and getting lunch. 15 minutes. I asked if I could come. My father laughed. You're 12, not a baby. So I stayed. 15 minutes passed. Then 30. Then 45. At first, I made excuses. Traffic. Lines. Confusion. An hour passed. My chest tightened. An hour and a half. My hands started shaking. I watched the entrance constantly. Every person. I looked up. Hoping. Expecting. 2 hours. The noise got louder. But inside my head, everything went quiet. Then I saw it. Through the glass doors. Their car. Driving slowly past the terminal. Relief hit me instantly. I ran toward the doors. Waving. Smiling. 'Cause I thought. They came back. My father looked straight at me. And smiled. Not relief. A smirk. My mother rolled down the window. And yelled. I bet you can't make it home. Then they laughed. And drove away. That was the moment everything changed. Not fear. Clarity. They weren't coming back. This wasn't a mistake. They chose this. And they enjoyed it. I went back inside. I didn't know what else to do. I walked. Sat down. Stood up. Cried. Stopped. Wiped my face. I tried to think. Who could I call? No one. Where could I go? Nowhere. At some point, waiting ended. And I realized I was on my own. A woman named Diane noticed me. She had been watching for a while. She said I kept walking in circles. She asked if I was okay. I said yes. She asked if I had eaten. And that's when I broke. Security came. Then police. Cameras confirmed everything. When they called my parents, they didn't apologize. They justified it. It's a lesson. One officer said. That's not a lesson. That's abandonment. That night, I didn't go home. I went to a foster family, Daniel and Rebecca Hayes. Their house was warm, quiet, normal. Rebecca asked what I wanted to eat. I didn't know how to answer. Daniel asked if I wanted the light on. I froze, because no one had ever asked me that before. They didn't push. They just stayed. The court process took months. My parents showed up calm, unapologetic. They admitted everything, but called it discipline. The judge gave them a choice. Change, or lose me. They chose to let me go. Emily Carter wasn't my original name. I chose it because the old one belonged to someone they left behind. The Hayes family didn't fix me. They stayed. And that changed everything. Years later, I built a life. Peace. Distance. Until today. 31 missed calls. 1 voicemail. My younger brother. They lost everything. And they want you back. I went. Not to save them. To end it. Hospital room. Same people. Different situation. They called it a mistake. I said, no. It was a choice. They asked for forgiveness. I said, you bet I couldn't find my way home. I did. I just didn't come back to yours. Then I left. Not angry. Not broken. Done. Because real family doesn't test if you can survive. Real love doesn't humiliate you. And healing begins when you stop calling cruelty a lesson.